Happy lunch hour, gang. Okay, it's Thursday afternoon. I know we haven't done a lunch video in forever. Being sick will do that to you. Not a whole lot in the world going on that I don't cover in one video. But this morning was an interesting day so far. Got up this morning, made my video, talked to you guys about Doge, doing all that sort of stuff, right? And then I had errands to run this morning. Had to go to UPS, had to go to the grocery store. When you're sick, you don't get a chance to go to the grocery store that much. But it's been snowing here, okay? And, all right, it's a couple inches of snow. Figure, all right, I got to go out this morning. I'm going to wait for the snow flurries to stop. Roads were a little covered, but it was powder. 7:30 rolls around. I haven't got out of the house yet, and my phone rings. It's PBJ. Dad, what do? I'm sliding down a hill. Which way do I turn my wheels? What do I do? My first question is, do you have a curb? She's like, no, I've got gravel on one side. I've got a ditch on the other side. Car's sliding down the hill. We got her straightened out. She got grip again, got to level ground. Didn't have any problems, thank God. And, okay, I told her, I said, take a different way to school. It's one of those things, maybe you're familiar with, maybe you're not. Let's take a look at what's going on with this weather. 80% roughly of this country right now is in below freezing weather. Southern Florida, parts of the desert Southwest, yeah, you're okay. But you had car wrecks, people dying in Mississippi, in Alabama, in Georgia, in Tennessee, in Missouri, in Nebraska, in Texas, in Virginia, in North Carolina, yada, yada, yada. Now, those of you guys that are up in Minnesota, Michigan, New England, Idaho, you're used to this. A lot of the rest of the people around aren't. So I went to the store this morning. It's about a 45-minute drive for me to get to the UPS place. On the way, I saw 3 cars in ditches. We got 2 inches of snow, guys, and it was powder. 3 cars that were off the road, wrecked, stuck, slid, whatever. Tow trucks, cops trying to pull them out. Okay. The roads here in my town were powder, but in shady areas, you don't know if there's black ice under them. Do you know what to do? Let's go to PBJ's situation this morning. You're going up a hill and you start sliding back downward. Do you know which way to turn your wheel? Do you know how to protect yourself so you don't wind up in a ditch? You're going down a hill. It's different. Do you know which way to turn your wheels, whatever, how to handle it? The pump the brakes thing is all sorts of great. But if the wheels aren't moving anyway, do you know how to guide the car? Is there a curb on the side of the road? That may make a difference, okay? Think about this for a second. What's better? Running into a guardrail, if there is one, and doing some body damage to your car? Or going off the other side into a ditch and potentially totaling your car or hurting yourself? Think about this. I'm not saying go out and practice driving in this, though it might not be a bad idea. But do you know what to do? I mean, I get a phone call. Which way do I turn my wheels? That's a failure right there. You should know that. It's funny, when I drove out of the neighborhood, and we haven't left in a few days. I haven't left the house since Monday. I looked at the lake as I get out of my neighborhood, down, I can see where it was. This time of year, the lake is way down. They dropped the lake. To give you an idea how much rain we got, literally getting out of my neighborhood, the lake is about maybe 2 feet from being over the road. So I got to the front of the neighborhood, a creek that is usually maybe a couple of feet wide is now 40 feet wide. Going over a bridge, the water was about a foot from the bottom of the bridge. Look at everything that happened in Kentucky with all this rain. And you see people driving through standing water. I got to get to the other side. Do you know what to do? Can you drive through it? What kind of vehicle do you own? A car, your 9-inch clearance of your car is not getting through 12 inches of water. My truck, maybe a foot, but you can't tell how deep it is. These are things that people need to prep for. What's your emergency evacuation route? How can you get out? Gee, there's a low-lying area. That might have flooding potential. I can't get out that way. Gee, here's a big hill. That might have icing potential. I can't get out that way. We talk about backups to backups to backups all the time. Do you know the way in, the way out? Sure, a lot of places, there's one way in and one way out, right? No, there's not. There's always multiple ways to get out. You just have to know them. Sure, they may not be the easy plan. It may not be the easy. Instead of going a quarter of a mile to get there, maybe it takes you 10 miles to go around. I had a situation like that, maybe 2 months ago, where the road was blocked and I couldn't get home on the normal way. And so I knew the back roads and I came all the way around. It took me about 15 minutes, probably about good 10 miles to go around for half a mile. But I knew how to do it and I could get home. Down here in the South, we don't get enough snow that a snowmobile might be a good idea. Not that it would do me a whole lot of good anyway. I'm not going to take a snowmobile for a half an hour to get to the store. But if I have to get somewhere, do you have the ways, the means, the knowledge to get where you need to be safely? It's a big question. We all talk about, if we get stranded on the side of the road. The whole objective is to not get stranded on the side of the road, to get where you need to go. But all these people, all these wrecks that we've all seen videos to, that have been all over the news in the last couple of days, about these storms that have hit everywhere from pretty much New Mexico to the Atlantic Ocean. What do you do? Do you know what to do? Do you have a plan? Do you have the experience? Do you have the knowledge? Maybe you're stuck in the house. Okay, I can stay home for 4 or 5 days and wait till this melts. It's mid-February in Tennessee. If it's mid-February in North Dakota, you may be waiting a couple of more months. This is why not only goods, not only stuff is important, but knowledge. Where do I go? How do I get out of here? What do I do if I'm in this situation? Is so important. Do you have the equipment, if you will, to get you where you need to go? Again, you're in North Dakota, you probably own a snowmobile. You're in Tennessee, pretty much guarantee you don't. Okay. But flooding, snowmobile not going to do you any good in flooding. What do you do? If that water comes up at the beginning of my neighborhood, another 2 feet, I can't get out. Am I okay? Yeah, I got enough food. I've got power. I've got heat. I've got whatever I need. But what about all those people that don't? What happens when they're stuck? That's when you get the knock, knock, knock on your door. Can I charge my phone? Can I have a box of macaroni and cheese? Can I have a gallon of gas for my generator? Because they ain't ready. Don't be the one knocking on the door. Be the one with the knowledge. Be the one that knows the escape routes. Be the one that has the wherewithal, the ability to get out if you need to. Because here's a question. What happens in a situation like this if the Chinese come over the hill? Where do you go? Pinball out.